Welcome to Bastard Quest. I'm the Game Bastard Kyle.
I'm Todd.
Corey.
Austin.
We are playing the One Ring. About the One Ring.
Oh,
Well, the Tolkien world of Middle-earth.
We have one of the rings.
If you're just finding Bastard Quest, at minimum, go back a few episodes.
or go back about 70 for the first time we played this game.
So you'll understand who these fucking people are.
Well,
Yeah. The One Ring is a great RPG. We highly recommend it.
yeah,
Yes.
a lot of fun.
We've had a lot of fun with this game. It's very, very well made, and it makes it super easy to get into character.
And nobody's gotten hurt.
Nope.
Emotionally,
That's not true.
maybe.
Austin, who are you playing?
Well, I'm Zep Farron, the dwarf.
Corey?
I'm Ezo Hen, the elf, who is less abrasive.
All right. Todd?
Bungo Tuk, Hobbit.
The three of you are hunkered down in a cellar beneath a house in Tharbad, a house owned by a hobbit named Valdi Pick, master spy in the service of Gandalf the Grey.
It's a master.
You don't know.
Have the hobbits mastered anything?
Comfort.
Breakfast.
Yeah. Lunch, dinner,
Potatoes.
pipes,
Gravity bongs.
Flern.
naps. And it is night. You have just prepared to go to sleep, hiding in Mr. Pick's cellar because Tharbad is currently ruled by, it is believed to be an agent of Sauron, of the Shadow.
A sorcerer, right?
A sorcerer is what you have heard. When you are disturbed by loud banging on Master Pick's door, and you can't make out the voices precisely, but you can hear Valde talking with someone. After a while, you hear the door slam and booted feet walking about above you.
All right, you guys, be quiet. This is where Christoph Waltz looks around.
God. I would like some milk.
I'd like one of those pipes.
The door to the cellar opens. Valde sticks his head down and says, "You guys better come up here."
Oh, okay.
The three of you emerge from the cellar, and you see, sitting by the fire in Valde's house, is a man in dark clothes, a rough cloak, armed with a sword and multiple knives, dark hair, thick beard. It is clearly a ranger of the north. And Valde introduces him as a ranger named Hess.
Named for Patreon member Jason Hess.
Thank you, Jason. Well met, Ranger Hess. Do you have a cool nickname you go by, like Plopper or Walkie Tim?
Some people call me Hess. Others call me Mr. Hess, depending on our level of formality.
What can we do for you, Hess?
I was coming to try to find others of my kin that might be in Tharbad. I have recently been in the company of Gandalf the Grey.
Oh, you've seen Gandalf.
Yes.
Oh, we're looking for him.
Then perhaps you can come with me to rescue him.
Oh, what's happened to him?
He is endangered by orcs in Ostenidil.
Oh, I guess he ran out of moths.
I'm sorry?
Well, you know how he does that thing.
I don't.
We do a similar thing with crickets. They attract the roosters that we ride across the land on.
I'm mystified by your words, but you are trusted by Gandalf and Pick.
I mean, that's a strong phrase. I wouldn't say Gandalf trusts us exactly, but one of his contacts, Gilrayan, does.
So he brightens, because Gilrayan is the head of the Rangers of the North.
Yep.
Yeah.
In that case, I will give you my trust as well, but when last I saw Gandalf, he was in a tower. He had barred the door, and I slipped away to find aid. I believe the orcs are searching for something.
Perhaps they're searching for what we have. That ring thing.
Oh, you have a ring?
Yeah, we recently acquired the ring of DURIN.
Kind of like raises an eye. I see.
You can't see it.
No, that's not. I don't want to see it.
Good.
That's not what I was. You're a very strange dwarf. Any event, Gandalf needs our aid, so unless you have pressing business to attend to here in Tharbad.
Let's go get him. Where's his tower?
He said it was in Ostenidil, which is the ruined elven city on the way to Moria.
Oh, what a coinky dink. That's on the way to where we're headed anyway.
What, you mean where you were going to meet Gandalf?
Yeah.
I'm smarter than these two. If you would prefer to talk to me, that's fine.
I think so.
Yes.
I think so.
I believe the dwarf is a paranoid,
He's all ringed up, yes.
deranged madman.
By the way, does Austin need to be taking shadow for still carrying the ring?
I'm not wearing it.
Oh.
No, I don't think that this is my understanding of ring lore, is that while the others definitely corrupt you, none of them are as insidious with the sort of influence that the One Ring has.
Okay. So, like, this ring in particular, or maybe one of the other rings, might do something like you don't pay as much attention to hygiene or something.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Well, because I believe in the mythology, all the guys that became Nazgul,
They were given the rings of men.
Yeah.
well, but also they lived as rulers and ruled great kingdoms, and then when they died, they became Nazgul.
Right. But
Like-
they might, like, snack too late at night.
Probably.
One of them, yeah.
Yeah.
So while I'm alive, you guys, everything's fine. But if I ever go down, keep your head on a swivel.
And then the dwarves, they became more and more greedy, but it did allow them to accumulate great quantities of wealth.
I heard there was one ring that if you put it on, you refused to wear a mask during COVID.
Yeah. And then because the Sauron had a hand in making the rings, but they were chiefly made by Celebrimbor.
Sure.
Jared.
Yeah, Jared the elf. And the only one he made himself that was truly corrupted was the One Ring.
Sure.
And it could corrupt all the others, but they weren't all inherently evil.
Right. But it's in a wet basement right now with Gollum. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Actually, I don't know where it is right now. In the
Bilbo would
It's
have
still
it.
at the bottom of the river.
yeah, Bilbo.
No, Bilbo
has
would have it because
Yeah.
we're in
Oh, yeah,
between the
yeah,
Hobbit
yeah.
and
That's right.
So, long story short, Hess wants to leave immediately to go help Gandalf.
Yeah, let's go.
Now, it is still night. You guys haven't fully rested. So, if you left in the morning, you would be able to recover more of your fatigue. However, you don't know if that would imperil Gandalf or not. And I will kill this wizard.
Sure. Friend Hess, can we wait and have a little, as Bungo says, nappy wappy?
It seems unwise to linger, but I understand that not all are as hardy as the Rangers of the North. So you guys can use some social skill to try to convince him that you should get a good night's sleep before you go try to rescue Gandalf.
So, Kyle, the last episode we did lower our fatigue. Is that pretty much done? So, like, basically, if resting doesn't really benefit us by lowering fatigue, I don't really see any reason to linger.
No, I mean, when you take a prolonged rest, you can reduce your fatigue by 1. So if you guys stayed and got a good night's sleep, you would reduce your fatigue by 1 again.
Can I reduce more fatigue if I wear my CPAP?
No.
I believe you mean your peppy wappy.
So, Todd, if you lose 1 fatigue, would that take Bungo out of weary?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, then I say we just go ahead and go.
Okay, well, the other thing to remember is that you are going to accumulate more fatigue on the journey to Austin and
Sure.
Yeah, but I mean, 6 of one, half dozen of the other.
Yes, let us leave there, Hess friend.
Good. That's what I wanted to do, because I am a Ranger of the North.
Ah, yes.
So the 3 of you depart with Hess. You gather your pack animals. Valde each gives you fresh supplies, fresh cheese, and pickled ham he has. No one notices him slip a bag of weed to Bungo. And you guys are on another journey.
Yay!
Hooray!
Now, does Hess take a specific role in the journey along with us this time? I guess this is the first time we're traveling with an NPC.
So he...
No, that's not true. We traveled with the dwarf.
Yeah, the dwarf that would hit things with his boot
Yeah.
and get no help whatsoever. Basically, I think what we're asking here is, since he's a ranger, which means he's used to traveling, will we get any kind of bonuses or pluses to the journey here?
Yeah.
You are going to get some benefits.
Not that we used all the benefits that we had in the last journey phase.
Yeah.
Corey, you want to take us through?
Yeah, we fucked up.
A lot.
I should have been rolling with advantage, basically, on my lookout skill. But
Well, here, I can do you one better, Corey. I'm an even bigger idiot because I am also favored in travel.
Oh, okay, good.
So every 2 that I rolled last time on my D12 could have been offset.
Yeah, and Bungo's maps should have been giving us a +1 to everything.
Yeah, so I should have at least been getting 3s every time.
We're good gamers.
We're good at this. It's been a while since we played. the
Read
One
your
Ring.
character sheets, players.
No.
So you guys will still make the decision as players, the course you're going to take, but Hess will be a good guide.
Okay.
Cool.
So again, I don't know if you recall, but last session you had to decide essentially whether you were going to try to cross the Glanduin near Tharbad by cutting cross country through the swamp, Swanfleet, or following the river and crossing it at some point further to the east. Now, as you get closer to the mountain, the river's depth will get lower and lower.
Yeah.
But you would still have to look for fords. It might not still be easily crossable.
Okay. I think following the river is the best plan here.
Well, we're doing that either way.
Yeah.
The question is whether we're crossing now, crossing through the swamp, or crossing the river itself later.
I don't want to go to no swamp.
Okay. So then we'll cross and follow the river to the south.
Gotcha.
And being a small folk, I would like to avoid the swamp. I could possibly get stuck.
Yeah, I hate when that happens.
Happened to me uncle, Pango Tuk Tuk.
Yeah, yes.
Got stuck in a swamp.
All right, so Austin, you will need to make a travel roll. I assume you guys are taking all the normal rolls you took last time.
We are.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm still going to be the guide for the journey phase and the scout. So I'm making my first travel roll now with both D12s as so ordered. So that's a total of 20 with 1 success die.
So for no discernible reason, you guys make incredibly good time this first day, setting out cross-country just off the road south of Tharbad. It's almost as if you remember your old skills that you had forgotten on your unnecessarily long journey from Bree.
I rubbed some vapor rub on the chest of Colby, so he's breathing much better.
So Austin, the event is going to be a mishap, and that's going to call for a scout roll.
Okay. Have 2 in explore, but that one is not favored. My target number for wits, by the way, is 15. I got a total of 19 with 1 success die.
At one point in the journey, you do have to cut through part of the southernmost edges of the swamp, the Swanfleet. And you try to find areas that are the most shallow. Largely, Zip is successful in this. So you only waste a few hours drying out equipment and drying the horses. You lose little time, but you do take each 2 fatigue.
Okay.
Had you failed, you would have taken more. And at the end of the 4th day, you are standing atop a low hill. In the distance, you can just start to see the first faintest impressions of the Misty Mountains.
Behold, the first faintest impressions of the Misty Mountains.
Yes. The Glanduin River is flowing swiftly, swollen by spring rains, but you're still at least a few days by Hess's estimation from Austin Ideal.
All right.
Time for another travel roll.
Okay.
If you want to go back to rolling the same dice you did at the last session, you can.
Yeah. So rolling 2d12, 3d6, and getting a +2 overall. All right. That's a total of 17, which is a success, and got 1 more success on the d6.
So to give some insight into how this works from a mechanical perspective, which I don't think we've done this run through, is I have a map which is divided into hexes, a map of Middle Earth, and on the travel roll, if Austin is successful, they move 3 hexes before they encounter an event, with an additional hex moved for each success.
Yeah.
And if you fail, you only move 2 hexes. So one reason you guys accumulated so much fatigue in the previous session was you were essentially going slower because you were failing rolls and encountering more events.
We weren't failing shit. Austin fucked up a whole bunch.
Pretty hard.
Yeah.
So this time you've made 2 travel rolls and moved a total of 8 hexes.
Yeah.
Whereas last time I think the most you ever moved once was 3.
Yeah.
Let's see what event comes up this time. Ooh, highway robbery. No. All right, Corey.
Yes.
This one is for Easel. Make your awareness roll as a lookout.
Okay. I'm favored in awareness.
Yay.
I've always known this. And I have 2 die. My target number is 14. And I get a +2 from all the other shit. Ooh, got a total of 15. +2, 17.
So this is a chance mating, and you rolled successfully, so no one will take fatigue.
Oh, cool.
Easel is on lookout. You guys are south of the river, south of the Glanduin. You've come down from the hills, which are greatly multiplied as your journey has progressed. The mountains now rise up in the east like this vast wall across the horizon. You're looking for a place to ford across. You can see the ruins of Austin Ideal to the northeast, this series of broken, pale towers, shattered stone amidst the wilderness. Easel's elven eyes see something fluttering through the air. A moth lights on a branch. Its little bug legs twitching, and he hears it go, "Fuck me." Woo, I'm fucking tuckered.
Ezel walks up to the moth and says, "And a mighty fuck you to you as well. I know how to speak to moths."
Holy shit, you're a big son of a bitch. And it flutters and almost falls off the branch, clinging back. Oh, hell, help me. Oh, shit, I can fly. Never mind.
Yes, I am big, but which reminds me, your mama's so short.
Oh.
My friend Bungo would be like, "Oh, look at that, a very diminutive woman."
That's a good one. I like it.
I've been workshopping joking happies.
It flutters. It flutters over and lands on your shoulder. Well, anyway, Gandalf said, "Come find somebody."
Well, we are well met indeed, friend Moth, for we have been tasked with finding Gandalf.
Cool. There's a bunch of orcs around this tower, and he's locked at the top, and they're hanging out, and they're trying to get him. He said, "Go get me some help," and I said, "Okay."
Are all the orcs in the tower, friend Mothy?
Well, they're just kind of hanging around at the bottom, being like orcs and stuff. Yeah, they're in because sunlight. They don't like it. I can take you there. You can see it for yourself.
Yes, can you take us along paths not trodden by orcs?
That's a lot of words. Maybe. You guys can fly, right?
No, unfortunately not.
Oh, whippersnappers.
Our horses can barely chew or look.
Well, shove a snickerdoodle up my butt and call me Charlie.
Yeah, well met, Charlie.
That would have to be a tiny snickerdoodle. I'm just saying.
Well, listen, because you guys rolled really well and you got this chance meeting, I'm the moth. What can take you to Gandalf to get him out of this hairy situation he's in, which you'd be surprised how often I have to do this.
It's always him.
Yeah, this happens a lot.
Gandalf keeps me alive, so he can use me as a beacon.
The true hero of the saga.
I'm 783 years old. I've been animated by magic so long, I don't remember what being a real moth is like.
I think it's mostly just like bumping into bright things.
It's a lot of that, yeah.
Gandalf keeps threatening to turn his staff off if he doesn't. Well, yes, friend Charlie, we will accept your help on this mission, and we will save Gandalf.
Well, I don't know why you're saying it like that, but all right.
It's my accent.
Oh, well, sorry. I didn't mean to offend your people. What are you, like a Presbyterian? Or?
Sandauran. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Let me gather my powerful friend and the two other ones, and we will begin this trek.
Okay, I'm going to go over here and suck the juices off this ladybug.
Oh, okay. So yeah, Ezel returns to his party and tells them of the moth chat.
Hess is very excited about this. This is wonderful news, Elf. I knew an elf would be a good omen.
Yes, quite often, yes.
All right, so then we can go ahead and cross the river now.
Yes, I believe we could probably leave our terrible mounts here for now and ford across the river ourselves.
Why would we leave them here?
Because we don't need them.
Yeah, but then we just have to cross the river again to get back to them before we go to MORIA.
That's fine. The journey's over.
Yes, the journey is over, at least as far as the journey to Austin Deal. So,
Just one question, brothers. Who is going to piggyback me across the river?
I brought floaties. We'll just let you.
Are they the ones that go on the arms?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, yeah.
so you guys get to reduce your fatigue by an amount equal to your mount's vigor.
Oh, okay.
And then you can make a travel roll. Every success you get reduces your fatigue by 1.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Am I making this for all of us, or are we each?
You each make 1.
Oh, okay.
I have 1 in travel.
Question, do we still get the +1 from the maps for this, or is this just a...
This is not a
feat roll?
Feat roll, I don't think.
we-
No, it actually might be.
Well, I think we're using our feet and our arms to swim. So can we get +1?
Yeah, it's a feat roll, so you could use it from maps. Sure.
Okay.
Bungo rolled a 2,
Oh, Jesus.
so 3. I don't have travel, so I just...
And I rolled a 16 exactly, which is my target number.
I rolled a 16, but my target number was 18.
All right, so Austin, you reduce your fatigue by 1. Did you get any successes?
I did. So I
But-
reduced it by 2.
Nice. And we are ready to enter into the adventure phase.
Oh.
The moth is fluttering around Easel's head.
It tickles.
Now it says, okay, I'll this way, across the river. And it just begins flying straight across the river. This is not a particularly good place to ford, by the way.
Oh, great.
Of course.
It is a moth. He is basically a moron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he does not understand.
I started to say, I don't even think he has to lead us. Like, we can see the tower, right?
You can see the city.
Oh, okay.
The ruins.
Oh, it's okay. Full ass city. Okay.
Yeah.
And he's going to lead us
To the tower. where
on
Gandalf
safe
is.
paths.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So, Corey, being an elf, could Ezel fire like a roped arrow across the river and use it to basically like hoist yourself across? You're the lightest.
Yes, of course. We do that often.
And then if you made it across, could you then tie that off for the rest of us to follow?
I'll do you one better, friend dwarf. I will shoot an arrow, leap upon it as it leaves my bow, and ride across.
Will you now?
Go for it.
That is what our ninja people do.
Interesting. Look, Lord of the Rings is a very kind of grounded setting. You cannot tie a rope to an arrow and shoot it across. It's not it doesn't work that way.
Shut up, Kyle.
Dude, I don't know. I saw Legolas do some fucked up shit in those movies.
These are the books. We're in the books. We are not in Legolas is a frickin' maniac.
Okay.
That's fair.
Though you could tie a rope around a rock and just throw a rock. Because I should put this in perspective. This is a river, but it is not like rivers which the four of us are used to. This is not the Ohio or the Mississippi. It is,
It's more of a crick.
it's bigger than a creek, but
Okay.
it's not something that you would see a barge going down.
Okay, I thought you were like referring to the fact that we probably won't get hepatitis from getting in it.
Yeah.
I didn't say you wouldn't. This is not the Cuyahoga.
Okay, well, let's just swim across this motherfucker.
Cool.
All right.
All right, make an athletics roll.
Okay.
All right. I've got a 3 in athletics thanks to my cursed fucking amulet.
I also have a 3 in athletics, and I'm favored.
I have a 1.
And my target number is going to be 14.
Yeah, my target number is also 14.
My target number is 17.
Ooh, there's that boy.
I also got Dat Boy.
I got a 10.
I got a dat boy. I got 2 6s and a 2, so that's a total of 26.
Okay, I got a total of 21.
Todd?
10.
Oh, total.
Total.
I see.
Yes.
Bungo drowns. So the river here is relatively shallow. You don't have to swim very much. You're mostly just walking across the bottom. This is mountain water, so it is pretty clear, though there are a few darker areas, and it's into one of those that Bungo takes a little tumble. Yeah, there's apparently just a hole there. He goes down, comes back up, but his helm is gone.
Oh, no.
You have lost your helm. Hess fishes you out.
Question.
Yes,
That helm was 4 load. Do I subtract that from
you would.
my load?
The load
Cool.
would reduce.
Sweet. Still have it with my fatigue. It's still 18, and my endurance is 15, so I am still weary.
But not as much.
Not as bad.
And you guys are across the river, making your way through the woods on the other side. The moth is leading you, or rather, leading Ezel. Child yells in the distance. And he leads you through the wilderness, through trees, and the occasional open glade, up to the edge of Austin Edil, which is a ruined elven city. The remnants of a wall encircle it, though this is mostly covered by vines and creepers and the occasional tree growing in the gaps. What is left of the plaster cover of the wall is cracked by time, but also discerning eyes like Zip and Ezel, you can see clearly this wall was ruined in some terrible war. Beyond that, broken buildings, shattered ruins, with the occasional tower that still rises high into the sky, though none of them are untouched by damage. And Charlie says, Ezel, let's go in. There's probably other things in here too other than orcs. I'd just fly around. I'm basically immune to those sorts of predations. I gotta watch out for hawks, though.
Okay.
What if this moth is deathly terrified of eagles?
Of course he is.
And he has to keep going and getting them
Oh, the giant eagle.
for this asshole he flies around with.
He's just the worst job from his point of view.
Okay, so is this a wall that we have to scale, or is there like...
Oh, there's so many ruined gaps you could just easily stride through it.
Okay, I was hoping to throw Bungo.
Yeah.
But, okay.
Tie a rope to Bungo and throw him over.
I mean, there's clearly parts of the wall that have been smashed down, and they're giant piles of rubble that are actually now covered, almost low hills going into the wall.
Okay.
So you could easily get into the city.
Okay, let's do that.
And the moth says, I will guide you, like you said, places where no orc has gone. And he just flies immediately up.
Okay.
Wait, no. He comes back down. Just remember, you don't got wings. Sorry. So he's going to guide you through the city. It is around noon, so the sun is high in the sky. You encounter no one. You don't really even hear anything other than the occasional squirrel or bird. And he takes you on this winding path. And eventually you come to something that probably used to be an open square, though now there are trees growing in the midst of what might have been some great plaza. And on the far end, you can see a tower with the top is shattered. There's smoke rising out of parts of it, and you hear the occasional guttural declaration in the foul, black speech of orcs. The moth flies out. It's over there. That's the one with the smoke and the orcs.
All right, guys, do you think there's any sense in trying to sneak around us, or are we just going to have to kind of blast our way through these fuckers?
So can Ezel scout ahead to see how many orcs we're kind of dealing with here?
Of course.
Okay.
Absolutely. What skill are you going to use? Stealth?
Yeah, I think stealth works here.
Bungo has 4 in stealth.
Okay.
Is favored.
Okay, well, you do it.
Okay.
Well, he's little.
And he's the most expendable.
Yeah.
And he also has the art of disappearing. If
perfect.
Need arises.
All right. Roll your stealthy wealthy.
So that's going to be 2d12 and 4d6s.
And Todd's weary, though. We got to keep that in mind.
So 1s, 2s, and 3s do not count.
But
Right.
one of my songs, the Song of Victory, can be used to let a player ignore weary.
Ooh.
All right.
Would I have to roll my song to make that happen? Because song is a skill on here.
Yeah. You've got to sing.
Okay.
The lyrical sound of elves.
Okay, I'm favored in song, and I have 2 d6s. My target number is 14.
All right.
Damn it, that's a 10.
You start to sing, and then you realize you were pretty close to the orcs.
Oh, shit.
And, yeah. The one thing that might set them off is them hearing an elven song on the wind.
I mean, yeah.
This is brought to your attention when Charlie comes out. What the shit are you doing? Jesus, shut up.
Sorry.
All right, brothers. I'm going in. Time to make hidesy hide. Well, I rolled 3 fucking 1s.
Oh, shit.
That's an 11.
Out of
16.
How many orcs did you see, friend Bungo?
Well, to be perfectly honest with you, I was creeping, and a little toot came out.
So this is what happens. So Bungo slips through the trees, and Bungo gets to the base of this tower, which is made of this smooth, polished, pale stone, rises up above him, taller than anything he's ever seen. He creeps around. He finds a gap broken in the walls, pops his little hobbit head in, and sees a troop of orcs crowding the lowest floor of this ruined elven tower. Most of them are asleep or picking through their provisions and supplies, grousing to one another in the way orcs do. There's at least a dozen here. So seeing this, he slips back out, but his weariness gets the better of him. He takes a rest, sitting down on a log, looks up, and just then realized, oh, there are 5 orcs at an impromptu camp just right next to him. And it's one of those things where it's like you've been sitting in a park on a bench and there was somebody else on a bench nearby and you just notice each other at the same time. Right?
That's not a log you're sitting on.
Yeah, like these 5 orcs look over and Bungo looks over. One of the orcs like tilts his head, like trying to figure out, am I actually seeing this? Is this some sort of elvish mirage? And one says, is that what, some little man, or am I on the gourd again? That's one of them hobbits. Gets him. They're half-rig folks. They serve the big uns. They serve the wizards. And so these orcs leap to their feet, Ezel and Zip and the Moth and Hess hear this commotion of orcs shouting, "Get him, get him!" And the boss says, "Oh, cracker snatch!
Okay.
I'm out of here!" He flutters away. "I'll go tell Gandalf you guys are going to die!"
Thank you.
And we are going to be in combat. Pachow.
So, Kyle, before we get into it, one of my distinctive features is enemy lore, and I'm specialized in orcs, which pretty much means I know a shit ton about orcs.
You know essentially everything about orcs.
Okay.
That there is to know.
Will that help at all?
It could.
Okay.
Do you know anything about orcs that would be useful right now?
I know where to kill them. In the head.
Yes. They are particularly vulnerable in the head, as most things are.
Okay.
Here's a specific question for you, Corey. Does Ezel know anything about how they make their armor so that he might know like where weak spots are?
Yep. Everything.
So I would say the one thing that would be Ezo would be thinking about right now, in case Corey, the player, has forgotten it, is that orcs generally do not like to be in the sunlight.
Sure.
And it is full-blown daylight right now.
Okay.
Which is why most of the orcs are in the interior of that tower, hiding out.
Got it.
And these that Bungo has encountered are under the shade of trees.
Okay. Friends, aim for their sun visors.
Yeah, they each have those green golf visors.
Yeah.
So, Todd, you are a dozen paces from these orcs. They're leaping up, preparing to grab Bungo. What does Bungo do?
Kyle, I think this would be a good time to utilize my art of disappearing.
How does that work?
What I need to do is make a stealth roll. If I get one or more successes, I can spend one to just simply disappear.
So I'm going to say that before you could make a stealth roll, I mean, they are 12 paces or less away from you. You're going to have to get away from them, at least break their line of sight.
Okay.
Because while you are in a small woods, it is daytime, which hurts their vision. But you're just almost within arm's reach. You're going to have to get at least something between you and them for you to really have the opportunity to hide.
So we can't just do the Homer Simpson back into a bush.
I mean, you could just run and attempt to outpace them.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. Because I don't think I want to fight them single-handedly with my short sword.
Now, Kyle, couldn't he just go into defensive stance? Because we're getting into combat, and there's 4 stances we can take.
Yeah, I mean, he could go into defensive stance if he wanted.
That would immediately penalize any attacks against him by like 1d, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it makes it pretty hard, or well, harder to get hit. So, I mean, I'm basically, because he's a hobbit, he has that ability, I would give Todd the opportunity to attempt to use that here, but you're still going to be in combat, because the orcs are, at least these 5 are alerted.
Okay.
My assumption is that Ezel, Zip, and Hess are advancing to the cries of alarm.
Sure.
Yep.
The first thing I'm going to do is run.
Okay. And what skill are you using there?
We'll go with athletics on that.
All right, make an athletics roll.
I'm going to spend hope.
All right, add a d6.
Yep, that's going to be 1d12, 2 d6s. Target number is 17. There's a 6 and a total of 18.
Nice.
Cool.
I run away real good.
You were successful, but you also rolled a success with the 6, right?
Yes.
So I'll say that will give you a bonus die on your stealth test.
Sweet.
Yeah, which you still have to make, because this is just you like sprinting into the woods, ducking behind a tree
Right.
to break their line of sight, and then pulling some hobbit nonsense.
Yes.
So roll your stealth.
All right. So I'm favored in that, and I get an extra die. So for this roll, I'll be doing 2d12 and 5 d6s.
Cool.
With a target number of 16.
You are still weary.
I am. 2 3s that don't count, but still, that's a grand total of 24.
Damn, Bungo.
Bungo runs into the trees. The orcs shout, leap to their feet, run after him. He's dodging in between the trunks, leaping through bushes, and after a moment, he's just gone. The orcs have completely lost him, but they burst into the small clearing where Ezel, Zip, and Hess are, give another shout of alarm, and then battle is joined between the two groups. Now, Todd, Bungo is hidden, moving around the battle. You can essentially appear in the combat at any point that you choose.
Right. Right.
Now, once you do that, though, you can't just slip back into the shadows. You're
correct.
there for the duration.
He can't Nightcrawler Bamf.
Nope. Turns out, no.
I picture Bungo like when he finally gets behind the shelter of like some broken wall, he pretends like he's going downstairs, like he does that thing. And when the orcs get around there, he's just gone.
So, combat takes place in a sequence. The first thing is the opening volley. Each side can use ranged weapons before combat as close quarters is initiated. Now, you guys are in a forest very close together when each of you sight the other, and at a run. I'm going to say that the orcs are completely unprepared for opening volleys. They don't have short bows. They do have spears, but they were essentially just chasing Bungo with their swords out or with just hands because, I mean, he's a hobbit. They were not at all worried about any weapons he was carrying. Do either Zip or Easel have ranged weapons they're prepared to use?
Yep.
Yeah, Easel has a great bow.
And I have a bow.
All right, Corey, Austin, you guys can make a ranged attack.
Okay.
Each.
All right. I have a 2 in bows, and my target number is 14.
I have a 3. My target is also 14. So we're not in a stance yet, right?
You are
This is
not.
just opening volleys.
These are opening volleys.
Gotcha. I got a 17 with 1 success.
I rolled a 7.
So, Kyle, I got a 17. My bow has Pierce. So, Pierce is enacted on what? Successes?
If you got a 10 or plus on the feet die.
Yeah, what did you roll on the feet die?
7.
So you don't have enough to trigger a piercing blow, which essentially you're just going to inflict damage, well, to their endurance equal to the rating of the bow,
Okay.
which is,
The damage rating?
yeah.
4. And does the 1 success, does that add damage or?
No, in this case, it doesn't inflict more damage. Normally, a success in combat would be used to try to for a bow in any case, would be try to increase the numerical die of the feet die to get a piercing blow and inflict a wound and take somebody out.
Okay.
But in this case, the arrow streaks amidst the orcs. They give a cry, and it's going to do 4 endurance damage to one of them.
Hey, orc, your mama's so dumb. That is all.
Well, I missed.
They hate that.
Time to get forward. Ah!
Yeah, so we now move into close quarters. The two sides crash into one another, and you each need to pick a stance. Well, except for Todd, who's hiding.
Zip is obviously forward.
Gotcha.
So typically Ezel is rearward, which basically means he can only use ranged weapons. But he's itching to try out this new spear he got.
Ooh.
The Lance of Falling Leaves.
Yeah, and actually, since there are 5 orcs and only 3 combatants at the present time, I don't think you could, because you'd have to have at least...
Oh, yeah, we've got to match every combat position before we can have a rearward.
Yeah, it can be 1 to 2. So essentially, Zip moving into forward could occupy 2 orcs, and then Hess moving into forward, which he's going to do because he's a ranger,
Okay.
could occupy 2 orcs, which would leave 1 unattended. So in this case, that extra, the 5th orc would stop Easel from going into rearward stance to, pepper them with arrows.
Gotcha. And for those unfamiliar, there's 4 stances you can take in combat. Forward gives your attack rolls an extra 1d, but...
Yep.
Makes you more vulnerable.
Yeah, but attacks against you also get 1d. If you're in defensive, it's the opposite of that.
Yeah, there's also open stance, which is just kind of the neutral,
Yeah.
no particular bonus or penalties.
Right. And each combat stance also has a combat task. Can you explain that again, Kyle?
Yeah, so a combat task is a non-combat action that you can take based on your position. Well, it's a combat action, but it's not, I guess, just hitting them with a sword, so to speak.
So normally we would not be able to take regular actions during combat if we're engaged with somebody. This is an action we would still be able to undertake as part of our maneuvers during a battle.
Yeah, so for example, if you were in the rearward stance, you could do prepare shot, allowing you to make a scan roll as your main action for that round. If you're successful, you would get a plus 1d on your next range attack, plus another 1d for each success icon you rolled.
Okay.
So if you were facing some really dangerous opponent like a troll, you could try to scan to build up for, ideally, a wounding shot.
Yep.
Because
Okay.
trying to wear down a troll's endurance is probably going to be an exercise in frustration. So Zip, Easel, and Hess are all in forward stance, and the orcs are as well because they're aggressive. They're orcs. And in the action resolution, which Easel and Zip are engaged by 2 foes, Hess is engaged by 1 because that's unfair to you guys, and that's the best way to do it, I've always found. Now, players all go first before the enemies, so...
All right, so there's this big echoing cry as everyone hears, "Time for Zip!"
Okay, Austin, what is your main action here? I assume...
So I'm using Baruch Kazad, Zip's virtue. Once per battle, use your battle cry to make an attack favored plus intimidate foe. All is one action.
Ooh, okay.
So he just screams that right as he swings his mattock at one of the orcs' heads.
Okay.
Yeah, I have skill and axes of 3. Target number is 14. All right, that's a total of 17. So a mattock does 7 damage, and so now I'll make my intimidate roll.
All right.
I have 2 in all. The target number, again, is 14. I rolled a 12 there.
Unfortunately, Zip's voice is muffled as this scarf flies into his face at the wrong moment while charging forward. But he does slam his mattock into an orc's face, despite being blinded, and pulp its skull. It goes down in a wet, messy heap.
That's my specialty. Come here, buddy.
So one orc is dead.
Okay.
Corey, it's Easel's turn.
Okay, Ezel's going to spear an orc.
Fun.
So I have 2 in spears, and target number is 14. Dat boy has arrived. Ooh, twaha. So that's a total of 20.
So it's an automatic piercing blow.
Yep.
And what other nonsense does your super spear have on it?
Oh, yeah, this is like Orc's Bane, right?
No, wolves and undead.
Oh, okay.
So it's not lighting up or anything. So the damage on the great spear is 5, and then piercing adds more damage?
So piercing, essentially, when you strike a piercing blow, in addition to causing loss of endurance points...
They have to roll to avoid an injury, right?
Yeah, they can potentially be injured. They have to roll their protection, which these guys, it's not super great.
So what's the injury rating on that lance?
18.
Their odds are not very good.
So they have to basically roll to try to beat the 18?
Yeah.
That's their target number, yeah.
Okay.
Because I have an 18 on my mattock as well.
So his protection roll did not go great. Easel charges in and with the deft grace of an elf. Corey, you can describe how he's dispatched.
So Ezel basically holds the spear aloft above his head, the spear being a 2-handed weapon, but Ezel does not grip the spear so much as he extends his hand with the spear between them as if in prayer to some elvish deity, and he begins rubbing his hands back and forth to make the spear somewhat drill towards the orc's face, creating a third eye.
I don't understand how they move so fast. Oh, it's drilling into me. It's as if in slow motion.
I'm killing you.
I'm slowly being murdered.
Goodbye.
Not even an orc deserves this.
Wait, let me check my lore. Yes, you do.
And the orc is drilled through. His third eye, unfortunately, only results in his brain seeing the world as it oozes out his head.
And hello to you, friend Brain.
Hello!
Oh, brainy.
2 orcs dispatched. Todd, it is the action resolution for the heroes. If you want to act now, you can. If you wish to leap from hiding.
I would like to do that.
All right.
So Bungo is going to leap from his hiding place. Can I, pop up behind one of the orcs?
Yeah, that seems to be the idea.
He is going to swing his short sword at the orc's Achilles tendon.
That's like Bungo's signature move.
Yeah.
I love it.
All right, you can have a bonus D6.
Okay.
Because you have surprise. Now, you are still weary. Do you want to spend any hope?
Yes.
So both Ezel and Zip were facing 2 orcs. Each of them dispatched 1. There's another orc facing Hess. Which orc of the 3, one on each of your companions, are you ambushing?
I'm going to ambush the one that is facing Zip.
I see.
Yeah. Okay, so my target was 17, and I rolled a total of 15.
Oh.
Bungo emerges from the shadows of the woods.
It's disconcerting, even as cute as he looks.
His short sword sweeping toward the orc's Achilles tendon. And tink! This orc is apparently wearing calf armor.
Well, and Bungo hit him with the flat part of the sword.
Yeah. He always forgets which end. The orc looks down. It's the tiny one. And it is the orc's turn. One is attacking Easel and one is attacking Zippity Doodah. Austin, what is your parry?
14.
So the orc on you rolled the best. It got an 11, but you managed to parry away its curved wicked blade.
Ha! Nobody ducks lower than Zip.
The one,
I'm like fighting Oddjob.
the one facing Easel just trips and falls on its own face. It rolled horribly.
Twaha, you made yourself a joke.
The fifth orc meets its end as Hess decapitates it.
Oh, well, thank you. Not used to NPCs doing jack shit in this game.
The last guy just threw his shoes at him.
Yeah.
So there's 2 orcs remaining, one on Easel, one on Zip. They see their 3 companions dead, are going to attempt to run.
Nope. Here comes Zip.
So you guys are, you're still in close quarters, so each of you can roll your attack.
All right.
Okay.
Maddock, again. I have 3 in axes.
Lance of Full Leaves again. Got 2 in spears.
Target number 14.
14 as well.
There's the Sauron, but that just doesn't count. With my bonus, I actually just make a 14 with 2 successes.
Okay.
I also got exactly 14, no successes.
What is the damage on your Matic?
7.
5 with the spear.
Todd, you can attack as well, and you'll probably need to because that is not enough to take these orcs out. If they survive this round, they will warn the others.
Okay. Bungo is going to use his Grievous short spear,
All right.
and I'm going to spend a hope. So that's going to be 2d6s. 17 is my target number. Well, I rolled a 14, Kyle.
So the 2 orcs dash from the combat. You're all running after them, and they're shouting, "Alarm! Foes!" and other things in their black speech. And there's a commotion from inside the tower as the other orcs begin to rouse themselves. And we will end the session there. I think everything's going great so far.
Yeah,
This is fun. And it's going great because we rolled good because we're rolling with Norse Foundry dice.
that's right.
You should too.
Yeah, NorseFoundry.com. That's the website. That's where you order the dice.
Yeah, they make dice from all kinds of shit. They've got super cool stuff. They've got a lot of cool stuff on the website right now. They've got like a big premium bundle for 2024. I didn't know this before. They have mystery packs of dice. Like how you would buy like those mystery booster packs for like playing cards, like Pokemon cards or something. They basically have these mystery packs of dice, and it looks like you don't know what you're getting until you get it in the mail.
Yeah, I got one not too long ago, and turns out those mystery packs are kind of like those jelly beans where one might taste like puke or whatever, because the die I got were all air. Fuck.
Oh, man, that reminds me of when my granddad used to have his mystery pocket that he'd want me to reach into.
Oh, god damn.
No.
Anyway, NorseFoundry.com. After you've made your selection at the checkout, make sure you enter promo code CHAM, that's CHAM, CHAM, for the Bastard Quest 10% discount.
You get another 10% off if you have grandpa trauma.
And we would also like to thank our sponsor, Barrel and Bond, 100 Broadway Street in beautiful downtown Paducah, right there on the banks of the Ohio River.
A great place to get rid of your grandpa trauma.
Or your grandpa.
Send him to the bathroom, never be seen again.
Yeah.
And as always, thanks to our listeners, thanks to our patrons, thanks to those who have left reviews for us and those who have engaged with us on social media. We love hearing from you. We love hearing about what you like, what you don't like.
Yeah, we especially love chatting with all the folks on the Discord. That's a lot of fun. So if you want to join our Patreon, you get Discord access on any of the levels you join. And we have some fun chats on
Yeah,
there.
just sit around and bullshit with us.
Yep.
It's a good time. Thank you for listening. I'm Kyle.
Todd.
Corey.
Austin.